Good morning, everyone, wherever you are in the world. It's Kayla back with another OK vlog. So it's been a while since I've checked in on this channel. I just had life getting in the way. I got a new job and also had my family come out to visit, and then went and visited my husband's family, but today I wanted to catch up with you on what was a very early vlog of mine, which was my weight loss journey. So about a year ago, actually just over a year ago, I was almost 200 pounds, and for my birthday last year I decided I was going to get to a healthy weight. I am glad to say that a year later I am now down 75 pounds. Today what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk a little bit about what I ate on that weight loss journey, because a lot of times you see these crazy YouTube videos or TikToks or whatever that'll be like, lose 75 pounds in a month or lose 75 pounds in 60 days, which is just, it's a load of crap, really. So about a year ago, and I think that's important because it did take me a full year to lose that, I made the decision after many failed diet attempts to finally change what I was eating, how I was being active, and then really try to get my weight down to a healthy and reasonable amount. So for perspective, it was about 200 pounds. I was a size 16. I am now about 120 to 123-ish pounds, which is important. It fluctuates, and that's okay. And I am now anywhere between a size 2 to a size 8, depending on the brand. I think it's also important to mention, because if you're someone who's going for a specific size, this weight loss journey has made it very apparent that depending on the brand, the sizes run the full gambit. I mean, I have size 8s that feel constricting, and I have size 2s that swallow me. So it really just depends on what you're buying. But today, like I said, we're going to get into what I ate, and really the most important thing, and you may hear my dogs in the background because they just decided now is a really great time to play tug of war. First and foremost, what I want to say is the biggest surprise for me in this weight loss journey was that I actually didn't cut out very many foods, and in fact there's only one food, and not even a food, it's a drink, that I cut out, and everything else is just changes or additions that I made to my diet. So first and foremost, the one drink, if you will, that I got rid of was full strength soda. I was someone who drank probably 3 or 4 Dr. Peppers a day. It was really my go-to for when I was stressed, and there is Ollie playing with his squeaky popcorn. Gotta love it. I wonder how long that's gonna last for. Life with dogs, what can I say? But anyway, I have tried many times before to cut out soda with no luck. I could maybe go 2-3 weeks, and then I would crash and burn and just like binge soda. So first what I tried to do is I tried to switch to diet Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is my favorite. I thought I'll go to diet, it'll be fine. Contrary to what people say, diet Dr. Pepper does not taste exactly like Dr. Pepper. In fact, it was just different enough that it made me crave Dr. Pepper more. So what I finally figured out worked for me was moving to 0 sodas in different brands. So for me, I realized, and I'm actually drinking this one right now, I need that caffeine. I don't drink coffee, I don't really drink tea, so for me, you know, that soda is my caffeine for the day. So regular Dr. Pepper, my beverage of choice, diet Dr. Pepper, just similar enough to make me wish I had Dr. Pepper. So I started trying some different sodas. I tried Pepsi Zero, Cherry Coke Zero is one of my favorites now. But really by getting something that tasted different enough that I didn't have on a normal basis, my brain doesn't really know per se what Coke tastes like or Pepsi tastes like down to a T, because I don't have it. I had Dr. Pepper all the time. So I was able to switch, and honestly, I don't know what I'm missing because I haven't really had a regular Pepsi in years. So this allowed me to get my soda fix And actually, after having had the zero sodas for probably 2 months or so, I actually was able to try some of the Dr. Pepper Zeros and no longer miss regular Dr. Pepper. So cheers to the zero sugar Pepsi that I've got here. So also on the drinks bandwagon is I've got these sparkling ice drinks, the Bai waters, and then Zevia energy drinks. So I also tried throughout this to reduce just the general number of sodas I was drinking. So I only have one of those zero sodas a day most days. I say this as I had 2 yesterday because we flew back the night before and I was tired. But that meant that I needed to substitute in some other items. I'm not a big water drinker, so at first what I started doing was just substituting in other drinks. These Bai waters took a little bit of getting used to. They have a flavor, but it's not super strong. For me, I found that starting with some of the ones that have a stronger flavor to them really helped make me want to drink them more. So if you are looking for an alternative and you want to try this Bai, I would probably try this pomegranate, or there's a cherry one. And those seem to have a little bit more flavor to them. It doesn't taste like you're drinking water with a hint of fruit, which is something I don't like. So these have a good fruit taste to them. So I was able to substitute those in. The ice waters, sparkling ice drinks, have really strong flavor. They also have a lot of fizz to them, carbonation. So that really helped me in like that mindset of I wanted something carbonated, bubbly to go down. So these were a great pick. My favorites are the black cherry and the grapefruit one. Wonderful. And then finally, I had been off and on doing some energy drinks in the morning to help me wake up. At first I tried just some, again, zero sugar diet versions of the ones I'd always been having. But again, was similar but not quite right. So I found these Zevia ones, which have entirely different flavors, grapefruit and, oh gosh, is it black cherry, I think is the other one. Totally different flavors from what I used to drink. And I think that helped because I wasn't comparing it mentally to the full strength stuff that I had been having before. So these were great. Couple months though into this, I think my taste buds started to change. I wasn't craving quite that sweet of a drink all the time. So that is when I added in water. And I actually bought a couple of these water bottles off of Amazon. You can see they have the times marked out. For me, this was really helpful because I didn't want to chug water and I knew I needed to drink more. So this just made it manageable by giving me, certain time goals to get to. Plus, it's super cute. Okay, so that is everything on the drink front. Now I want to step into breakfast. So let me preface by saying I'm not a breakfast person. I hate breakfast. I don't want to eat before 11 a.m. So for me, I knew I needed to eat breakfast or put something on my stomach because I would get so hungry at 11 that I would just want to eat these huge portions for lunch, which were really throwing off my diet. And just for reference, I was trying to aim for anywhere between 1,200 and 1,500 calories a day because you do need to operate in a deficit if you're trying to lose weight. So for me, what I was able to do was add in these dark chocolate protein shakes. So yeah, not really eating breakfast, but at least I'm drinking it. And this isn't from a perspective of, gosh, I was like eating a big breakfast and then I shrunk it. No, I wasn't eating breakfast at all. So for me, this is huge. This has allowed me to have something at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting ready to hold me over until lunchtime. It's actually helped it where I'm not hungry for lunch until noon. So this has really, really worked for me. Protein is good because it helps to keep you full for longer. And I just like chocolate, so it's kind of like having dessert in the morning. Okay, so couple things. You can see a large spread of food here. First and foremost, I want to say I didn't remove anything from my diet. These are all things that I added or added in new ways. Obviously, big thing that you hear a lot for people when they go on a diet is obviously having more salads. I was not, I should say, a salad person before this. I found them boring. hard to eat. If I had a choice between a really robust sandwich and a salad or a hamburger and a salad, we all know what was going to win. So for me to get into the mindset of eating a salad was really hard. But what really helped me was finding new ways to make my salads not boring. Big thing was dressings. I have just a few of some of the dressings that I tried over this period. Before the diet, I had all of 2 salad dressings in my refrigerator. And this is now just a sampling of what I have in there. I probably have just as many other flavors on the door. And this is because I realized very quickly I was going to get bored if I was putting in salads. So I got a lot of different dressings to try, and along with that, a lot of different toppings. So I do have croutons. I've always had croutons, but I also added in tortilla strips and crunchy chickpeas, which are really, really good. And I also started getting a wide variety of cheeses. So this is a Parmesan. One thing I did on my diet was start eating less cheese. Didn't cut it out, but I did definitely eat less of it. And so I now buy like the nice blocks of cheese and shred it myself because it just tastes even better. And if I'm only having it every so often, I want to have the best flavored cheese I can. We've also got fresh blue cheese and a cat, which was not part of the diet. And then crumbled goat cheese and feta. And I also got these chicken strips that, these chicken strips that are blackened. They also have like these chicken chunks that are just like a roasted in your frozen section. As well as I got some of these tuna creations, and they also have chicken creations. Basically, what I was going for here was a lot of easy options to make a wide variety of salads. So during this time, I figured out I really like a chicken salad with sort of like a Southwest flavor to it. Add a little corn, a little black beans, these tortilla strips, some of that avocado dressing, sprinkle a little cheese on it, and it is wonderful. I also really like Caesar salad, so I would do the chicken as a Caesar salad. I have some Asian flavored ones of these, or well, I did. I've eaten them because they were good. So I would make like an Asian style salad with some of these, just all sorts of different things. And I would try to basically have a salad like twice a week, 2 to 3 times, just because I couldn't eat salad every day. I'd get bored, but I certainly could introduce it more. So basically I went from having no salad to salad 2 to 3 times a week, and probably by about the 4-month mark, I actually started craving salad, which was a whole new thing for me. Okay, so when I'm not having salads, what else would I have for lunch? I introduced a lot of soup into my diet. I occasionally would have soup when I went out, and it would be like soup in a sandwich. But once I went on my diet, I really started introducing more soups and more chilies. They just are able to fill you up a little bit faster. They're oftentimes a little less calorie intense. I really like these Mad Dash mixers. You can go online and find this store. Right now, I just have the creamy corn chowder and the broccoli cheese soup available. But I also bought the tortilla one quite a bit. They have a jalapeno chowder, which is amazing, as well as some different chilies and stuff. And so I would make a big pot of those on the weekend, put them in my refrigerator, and I would have those for lunch throughout the week. Another item that I introduced into my diet was a very Greek-influenced, sort of sandwich deal. So I started getting naan, and unfortunately this isn't the one I normally get. I get ones that are a little bit bigger normally, but supply chain issues. But I would basically, on the weekend, I would put some of this Greek dressing that I had for my salad in a saute pan with some cubed up chicken, and I would saute that up, and then during the week I would put the chicken on the naan bread. I'm not a fan of pita. I know that's how you would traditionally do it, but I don't like it, so I did naan instead. And then I would add on either some baby spinach or some arugula, and then tzatziki sauce. This became my best friend throughout this. It's so flavorful, super wonderful, and not something that I had really had before. So it really made my sandwiches more interesting. So that was a go-to sort of sandwich that I would have. Another one that I discovered, and I can't believe I actually like this, is a roasted red pepper and hummus sandwich. So similar idea, I would do it either on the naan or I would buy gasp bread. And I would actually buy really nice bread because, again, like the cheese, it was something I started eating less of. I didn't cut it out, but I certainly ate less of it. And so when I wanted bread, I bought the best bread. I was like bakery section, fresh, crunchy, crinkly bread. You know how like when you squeeze it and you just hear that crackle? That kind of bread. Anyway, so I got that. I would roast up some peppers in a saute pan. I have a really nice, I like spicy, so I have a really nice bakluti chili oil that I would like saute it in. And then basically get the bread, put some hummus on it, healthy spread of hummus, because that's what's going to keep you full. Layer it up with a bunch of roasted red peppers, baby spinach. I sprinkle either a little bit of goat cheese or Parmesan on it. And then I would take some hot sauce, because I, again, really like spicy, and I would just drizzle that on it, and it was so satisfying. I am not someone who typically eats vegetarian, so to have a meal that had no meat in it, you'd think I would be really missing out, but I actually crave these sandwiches now, which is something I never ever thought I would say. So, getting towards the end here, just a couple more items that I added in. Big one, I started trying Korean food. So I had Korean just a couple times when I was at Penn State. There was a really great Korean restaurant there. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was so wonderful. My friends took me, I loved it. So I had a little bit of a taste of it, but hadn't had it since we moved out of Pennsylvania. So during this diet, I started experimenting with different foods, because what I found out is a lot of our traditional American foods really high in fat and sugar and just really high calorie. We like to eat big portions of not super great for you foods. And it's not that any foods are necessarily bad, it's just that we don't really have a lot of balance to what we're eating. So you'll go like really, really meat heavy on something, like red meat heavy on a hamburger, and almost no vegetables on it. And that's a big thing I've learned through here is balancing out. So I'll still have a hamburger, but I'll load it up with lettuce and I'll have it with vegetables on the side instead of like fries. But anyway, I started experimenting with Korean food, and from there also experimenting with Indian, Greek, and some other food groups that I had not had before. Sorry, I need a drink. So one of my favorite things became making these like Korean barbecue lettuce wraps. So I discovered H Mart during this whole thing, which if you've never been, you absolutely should go. And you should absolutely check out their ramen aisle. That is another thing I did have during my diet. I would have like ramen every so often, and it was amazing. But anyway, these Korean lettuce wraps. I would buy, if I went to the regular store, I would buy just like stir-fry steak or something, or maybe shrimp or whatever, and I would use this, I'm going to say it so wrong, but it's like a bulgogi sauce, and I would just marinate it in that, cook it up. I would add coleslaw, mix into it, some water chestnuts, that sort of stuff, some broccoli or bok choy if I had it, and then I would load it up in this lettuce wrap, and then maybe sprinkle a little bit of like crispy wontons on it, or in a blank on it, like the crispy chow mein noodles on top, just to give it a little crunch. That was so wonderful, so filling, and it was great because I got to try something new. So rounding it out, snacks. I introduced a lot more fruit into my diet, so you can see grapes. Green grapes became a staple in my household, as did apples, both of which I remember liking as a kid, but had not had in years. But these became sort of go-to snacks a lot of the time, just because they're easy, they're light, I could get some more fiber in, that sort of thing. But that being said, I did not cut out my favorite snacks. So you can see here behind me, I have chips. I absolutely love something salty. And I also have Oreos, mint specifically. Cannot go without these. And you don't see them back here because I actually ate them all, but also the extra cheesy extreme goldfish are my go-to. So I would not have been able to diet if I had to cut all of those out. I probably would have gone crazy, sat in a corner, cried in the fetal position, something along those lines. So what I ended up doing is more portion control with those types of foods. So these are my husband's rum and Coke glasses. I don't know what, tumblers, that's what they're called. Anyway, these became my portion sizing. So I would put, you know, some goldfish in here or some chips or a couple Oreos, and that would be what I would have. That was my dessert. This just helped me because I used to grab the whole bag, take it to the couch, and then just mindlessly continue eating while I was sitting there. So that became super helpful. I just remembered one more thing I'm going to grab out of the freezer real quick. My other go-to dessert during this time became Halo Top ice cream. I really love the mint chip and the red velvet cake. This is a lower calorie ice cream, but so incredibly satisfying. And I actually went back to try to eat some of my husband's mint chocolate chip that he has, because he's an Edie's guy. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I actually like this better. Yeah, this is just another item that I added in. So hopefully that is of some help to you. For me, it was certainly helpful to start thinking of my diet in terms of what I was adding in as opposed to what I was taking out. And obviously the results speak for themselves. Going from size 16 to a size 2 to 8 is huge. And yeah, I got to try all these yummy things that I now incorporate regularly. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to you, and have a fantastic day wherever you are. Thanks, bye.